Welcome back, Giants fans. Today we're going to talk about Lorenzo Carter and should the Giants re-sign him or not. And I think this is honestly one of the more underrated aspects of the Giants offseason. There's plenty of things to happen, of course. Should the Giants trade certain guys, cut certain guys? Who are they going to draft at 5 and 7? Should they trade the picks? A lot of big questions here. But this Lorenzo Carter situation is pretty fascinating, and there's a lot of different ways to look at it. So we're gonna go over his stats, what he did the first 10 games, what he did his last 4 games, and why this is such a difficult decision. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Leave in the comments, would you resign Lorenzo Carter or let him go? And if you did sign him, how much would you give him? Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. So you look at Carter's numbers as a whole, and he's had a pretty decent NFL career. I would say Gettleman did a good job in that 2018 third round getting B.J. Hill, Lorenzo Carter. Pretty useful players. I mean, his first year he played 15 games, showed some flashes, 4 sacks. He had 43 combined tackles, which is nice. Second year, pretty much had the same type of numbers. It was another 15 games for him, 4.5 sacks, 45 combined tackles. So it was a pretty good season, I would say. Then, of course, last year, he started to kind of break out, it felt like, and then at the wrong time, he tore his Achilles early on last season in 2020. Finished the year with only 5 games, 1 sack, 15 tackles. So he was able to come back this year, was ready for week 1, which is pretty miraculous, honestly. He comes back this year and honestly does not do much at all the first 10 games. His numbers his first 10 games looked like this. He had 28 combined tackles, 0 sacks, 1 tackle for a loss, only 2 quarterback hits. He had 1 interception, which was a Dak Prescott tipped up interception. That was a nice play. And 0 forced fumbles. Now, his last 4 games of 2021 is what makes this very difficult to look at and say, is this just a mirage, or did Lorenzo Carter actually get healthy and get 100%, and this is who he is? So his last 4 games, he had 22 combined tackles compared to his 28 in the first 10 games. He had 5 sacks compared to his 0 in the first 10 games, 5 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hits compared to his 2 in the first 10 games, and 2 forced fumbles compared to his 0 in the first 10 games. So you look at this as like 2 things. Either one, it's just a contract year and the guy was going super hard the last 4 games just to make sure he got himself some extra money, which he probably did based on this. Or number 2, he really started to come into his own, really got 100% healthy, because a lot of times people, when they come off these like Achilles injuries, ACL injuries, the big injuries, they'll tell you it takes like a full year. It takes a long time to really get back to where you were. And maybe this is Lorenzo Carter going forward. Maybe this is who he is. And my fear as a Giants fan is that we are going to let Lorenzo Carter walk. He'll go to the Baltimore Ravens or something, and he'll have like a great career there for the next 5, 6, 7 years. And that's not what I want to happen. So we're left in this tough situation with Carter, because we don't have like the best outside linebacking room, of course. There are some good names, of course. Azeez Ojulari is one of them. But number 2 is the cap space situation. The Giants are looking to clear $40 million in cap space. And if they do that, they should have enough money to re-sign Lorenzo Carter to a decent looking contract. But it depends what that number is. So for me, my personal opinion on this is I would like to see him back, but only on a 1-year deal. I would hate to make a multiple year commitment to a guy like this who has not shown the most consistency throughout his career. Yes, he had a phenomenal month of football. We have yet to see a phenomenal season from Lorenzo Carter. That's the big problem here. So I don't want to let him go, but if the Giants can get him back on a 1-year deal, give him about $6, $7, maybe $8 million for that 1 season, and see if that was just a mirage or see if this is the real thing, I think the Giants are better off doing that. Another thing the Giants will have to do, and I'm sure Joe Schoen will do this, he's a smart guy, will look at the alternative options if Lorenzo Carter were to walk, because at that point, you're going to be left with guys like Azeez Ojulari, who should play a lot next year, but you're going to have guys also like Quincy Roche, who, had some moments last year but can't be relied on. Cam Brown's more of a special teams guy. You still have Ellerson Smith, who had a neck injury. Hopefully he comes back okay, but not really a proven commodity. And that's pretty much it. I mean, don't really have much else at the edge position right now. O'Shea and Zimenez, if he makes the team, we'll find out about that one. But you got to look at some of the alternative options. And looking at the free agent class for outside linebackers in 2022, you have Chandler Jones, Von Miller, guys that are a bit up there in age now, probably not really viable options for the Giants. Same thing with Jadeveon Clowney, he just signed a 1-year deal with the Browns, of course. Randy Gregory, don't know about that. Harold Landry is interesting, but he's going to demand a lot of money, so that's another problem there. Hassan Reddick coming off a 1-year deal, probably wants more money after the year he just had. Emmanuel Ogbah probably wants a lot of money. Justin Houston, maybe. Jerry Hughes makes the most sense because he's coming from the Buffalo Bills. He's a bit older, maybe wants a 1-year deal. I could see that one happening. Melvin Ingram probably wants to play for a contender. Jason Pierre-Paul, I think he likes living in Florida. So yeah, there's going to be options out there, but how many of them actually make sense for the Giants? Jerry Hughes, in my opinion, could make sense, but that's one guy. You can't harp your entire plan for a position on just one guy. That's not really the best way to go about it. But looking at the draft in 2022, the edge position is supposed to be very deep for edge rushing talent. Of course, it's labeled with, Hutchinson and Thibodeau. Those are the main guys, of course. But this is supposed to be a very good edge class. So if the Giants want to go that route as well, and can at least trust that their first-round rookie or even second-round rookie or third-round rookie can make an impact in year one, then maybe they go that route as well. But if it were up to me, I'm trying to sign Carter for a one-year deal and seeing what happens. If he doesn't, pan out, then so what? It's a one-year deal. The Giants are probably having more of a evaluation year anyway. I don't think next year's a year to compete for the Giants. We'll see what happens, of course. Hopefully they do, but I'm not counting on that. But you're trying to evaluate what you have on your roster, and I would like to see Lorenzo Carter at least have one more season in Giants blue to see if this is the real thing or if that was just a 4-game fluke. So once again, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this situation. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys next time.